much honored and privileged to say a few words about this lecture, about our relationship, about the most severely disabled children in Israel, and the linkage between Israel's security and Israel's social power. Before starting my lecture, I would ask you one gesture. On your chair, you have a band, a green band. Please take this band and put it on your right arm. This is a symbol gesture for the most severely disabled children in the world. Children like our loved son, Almog, Zichrono Livracha, God bless his memory. Didi, my wife, sitting here with us, mother of Eran. Eran was born in January 6, 1984, in the period that I was involved in operation in Sudan, bringing Jews from Ethiopia, Jews who had nothing, just fear, misery, suffer, nothing, no belonging, no property, torn clothes, and we brought them by special operations. Dear Barbara, my friend, not Moses, about 15 years before Moses. Special clandestine operation, top secret at that time in the state of Israel. And I participated in this operation together with our Mossad, bringing these Jews to the only Jewish state in the world, the state of Israel. At that time, our second child was born. We gave him the name of my brother that was killed in Yom Kippur, 1973. The Yom Kippur War. Yom Kippur was a horrible war for my generation. I lost many of my friends. At that time I was 22. All of a sudden the state of Israel was attacked by the north, the Syrians, the south, the Egyptians, and we found ourselves fighting for the existence of our country. Only 3 million Jews at that time in the state of Israel. Thank God, now we are nearly 9. I fought in Sinai. I lost many of my friends. There were seconds in this war I thought I won't see the day after. My brother was 20. My brother, Iran. Armor platoon commander at the 7th Brigade, fighting in the Golan Heights. In the Golan Heights, about 180 Israel tanks defended our country against most than 2,000 Syrian tanks. Few against many. At the end of the war, I arrived to telephone. My mother was the first to raise the telephone, and I had one question. What about my brother, Iran? She said, we lost Iran. We have no Iran anymore. My brother was killed in 1973. I came home. But there was nothing to do at home because all our losses at the Yom Kippur War, 1973, were buried in temporary cemeteries. In the north and the south, and the funeral happened only 11 months later. My brother was buried in the north. I continue to investigate his own battle. I found his burned tank. I found some of his belongings, a razor, shaving machine, some of his clothes, his burned tank, aiming at the left side to 3 Syrian burned tanks. He was shot by a Syrian tank 50 meters from the front. He was the only survivor. He was flown outside, bleeding 7 days near this tank. And I came to this knowledge by investigating his soldiers, those who left in hospital, the wounded, the casualties, those who injured. I built memorial from some iron plate of his tank near the same place of his last battle. I was courageous at the 73, courageous, and I swore to never ever leave a wounded soldier behind. That was my personal, individual oath to myself. I didn't share it with anyone. 3 years later, I was the first Israeli soldier to land in Entebbe. The night between 3rd and 4th of July 1976, we flew 4,000 kilometers, landed 11 p.m. sharp. 53 minutes on the ground, we killed 7 terrorists and brought back the 105 Israeli hostages. 105 Israeli hostages that were taken by terrorists who negotiated with the Israeli government asking to release terrorists from our prison. The Israeli government didn't surrender and send us. We lost 1 soldier, Lieutenant Colonel Yoni Netanyahu, the brother of our currently Prime Minister, Benjamin Netanyahu. We departed a few minutes before he was killed. I was the first to land there and the last to leave the Entebbe airfield. One of the most heroic operations in a modern military history. And few years later, more and more operations. Hunting down terrorists, bringing the Jews from Sudan, leading the paratroopers from Awali River to Beirut in the first Lebanese war, to conquer the terrorists in South Lebanon, to allow Israel to have peace with Lebanon. That's my generation, battle after battle, fight after fight, another one, another one, another one. I led the paratroopers from Awali River 1982, June 6 until June 13. I was also the first Israeli soldier to arrive to Beirut to conquer terrorists all over the way, killing about 300 terrorists. But also losing more friends all over the way. All over the way for the existence of our only Jewish state, for our loved country, the only democracy in the Middle East. And as I told you, 1984, our second child was born. We gave him the name of my loved brother. Doron was killed as lieutenant, as Almog platoon commander of the 7th Brigade, fighting to defend our country. And as parents, we expected that Iran our son would be a source of pride. A talented one, more successful than his mother and father, continue fulfilling the legacy of the family. At the age of 8 months, he was diagnosed by severe brain injury. We were told by the psychologist that this son, suffering from a combination of autism and retardation. And the psychologist at the age of 8 months told us, your son, you'll never, probably, will never speak a word. Your son will stay at the age of 8 months. More or less. That was a shock for Didi, my wife, for me. You need to reshape your life. And you ask God, why it's happened to me? What have we done? It's about our children, placed on the most sensitive nerve of our existence. They are placed just on our legacy, on our wishful dream, the parents' wishful dream, to have a son that will continue the legacy of the family, get married, bring children, grandchildren, powerful, talented, and then nothing. He will stay at the age of 8 months. I want to tell you that this son passed away 8 years ago at the age of 23. This son never said even one word, Abba or Ima, not even one word. This son has never cried. This son has never made eye contact. But he was the greatest professor of my life. He taught me more than anyone. He taught me what my life should be committed. He brought me to his place, to his position, tried to understand our world from his place. A place, I'm telling you honestly, a place of discrimination, a place of guilty, a place of shame. Many parents very much ashamed on having a child who is fully retarded. Many parents never say, I have retarded child. Many parents ignore, leave their child behind in hospital or institute. Never speak about it. I can tell you many stories. One of them is about the Prime Minister, Golda Meir, our Prime Minister. This is the same Prime Minister who sent me to operation to hunt down the terrorists behind Munich. Yes, I was also one of those leaders and fighters to fight the terrorists who killed our terrorists, who killed our sportsmen in Munich, in the Olympic Games, 1972. The same Prime Minister still having a granddaughter alive, living in Israel, Down syndrome, married. And Meira, the granddaughter of our Prime Minister, gave interview after Golda Meir passing in 1985, said, Golda never visited me. Golda was fully ashamed of my presence. So, I'm telling you, and I asked God many times, why have you given Didi, my wife, and me a child like Iran? And the only answer that I gave myself and give you is about testing us. testing you, testing your humanity, testing your sensitivity. Test what kind of person are you. Like, by his own language of my dear son, Doron, who many times speak to me inside and say, my dear father, I will never judge you as officer, as general, as a commander, as leader, as one who protect the state of Israel. No, I will judge you on one thing. What kind of father are you for me? I will judge you on your humanity, on your sensitivity. I will judge you what kind of world can you create for people like me. It's optional for you to leave me behind. It's optional for you to leave me somewhere overseas in a monastery or some place forsaken, forgotten, ignored. It's up to you. You may leave me bleeding in the street. I cannot protest. I cannot say even one word. I cannot say please. It's up to you, my dear father. I'm the mirror of your behavior. I'm the mirror of your humanity, of your sensitivity. So take in account every day when you stand and look at your face. It's about the truth. It's about people like me. So please try to shape a better world. And that's what Didi, my wife, and me decided. We decided on unconditional commitment for children like our loved Doron. When I was the commander, of the Israeli South Command, fighting in Gaza, defending our country against a mess of terrorist attacks from Gaza. At that time, we got a formal letter from the Israeli Ministry of Education saying your son reached the age 18. When he comes to 21, he won't be able to continue studying in special education. Why? Still mystery for me, but this is the law in Israel. A law, a special education law that was facilitated in the state of Israel for children like our loved Doron. So we decided on building a village, full lifespan, a wonderful paradise. You saw in this video, you saw the village. A paradise for these children. Why a paradise? Because they are the purest people on our planet. They never did wrong, they never steal, they never manipulated, they never harm anyone. They are the purest and the most righteous people. But they are powerless. They don't have lobby. They don't have political party, they don't have political power. But they need us. They cannot survive without our values. Above all. And by the way, what they say to us, take into account, all of us, even the most powerful and healthy people are temporary creatures. Just like that, in a split second, you can find ourselves in the same position, fully dependent on other people's power. So it's about ourselves. It's about our values. And I want to tell you more. It's also about the relationship of the state of Israel and Germany. Not much was said about Second World War. Not much was said about the memories, the ashes of Second World War. But Didi, my wife. Didi, please stand, please. Please. She's Didi. Her name, Didi, Frida. Her granddaughter were living in Berlin. Her grandfather, Jakob, was living in Berlin. She is named Didi Frida, on the grandmother who was killed in Auschwitz. On the grandfather, Jakob, her second brother, is named Jakob. Her father, Shmulik, was evacuated by Frida from Berlin to Belgium. 3 brothers, Shmuel, Shlomo, Zev, survived Second World War. Shmuel did his father from age 5 to age 11, struggling to survive. Arrived to Israel in 1948, as orphan. So we remember, very much remember our history. We should remember together. Never forget. Never ignore. Never ignore our history. We are joined. We are connected by our tragedies. The tragedies of the German people, the tragedies of the Jewish people. And we would like to create a hope and a better world, and to correct and maybe demolish the evil in our world and make our world a better